there, sweetheart. Are you aware that every era has its own fixation, and it's you at the moment? Every time you enter the room, it acts strangely due to the glow, the shift, and the new presence. They don't even fully comprehend it. It's not simply your body, your face, or your sudden attention-grabbing style. It's the energy that drives it. You've turned into a living example of what transpired with them. You used to fit in, but these days you shine like something that neither money nor imitation can match. Individuals who never looked at you before are now silently double-taking, attempting to determine when the roles were reversed. That's the problem, though. They remained still. You did. They can't stop thinking about you, scrolling for you, or comparing yourself to other people, and it's making them crazy. You see, beauty isn't the only factor in attraction. It has to do with frequency, they see. You've entered a frequency that exudes self-possession. You no longer seek attention. It follows you. Those who once ghosted you now obsess over every emoji they send. Those who believe they had upgraded now find they have downgraded in ways they are unable to articulate. Without making an announcement, you became the norm. Your confidence began to seep into the environment like pheromones the world wasn't prepared for, and you improved your style, changed your aura, and built yourself in quiet. You've become addicted in addition to being appealing. Your glow-up didn't even begin as retaliation, which is crazy. It began engaging in activities that restored your sense of vitality. You became a phenomenon, somewhere between the gym mirror, the late-night self-talk, and the boundaries you wouldn't compromise. They see more than simply a lovely face. They are seeing a tale of redemption wrapped in taste and subtle peril. Even those in relationships are questioning their commitment to the delusion they created because of the confidence you exude. This is the point at which it becomes psychological. People are envious of more than just beauty. They are transformed and entered because your increased vitality is evidence that you look good with power and healing, and they find that reflection intolerable. Imagine this now. The air suddenly becomes heavier when you enter without trying to impress anyone. Eyes dart, conversations pause. Even those who act indifferent are waiting for your voice in the hopes of catching a word, a glance, something. They are powerless to stop it. They now revolve around you like a magnetic field. Your aura now strikes in a different way because it simultaneously conveys mystery and serenity. And that combination is lethal. People dream about you, speak about you, and follow your feed like it's a documentary about how to become untouchable because of the same vibe. It's funny that they can't replicate it since it's not the shine, the hairstyle, or the clothes. It's the backstory, the one you experienced. You went through stages in the cosmos that reduced you to your most base. You were not destroyed by rejection, heartache, or being ignored by others. It gave you a new look. They are currently witnessing the version that was created under duress, the person who receives validation even when they don't need it. You're not only attractive, you have a commanding presence, the tone, the stance, the eye contact. It all conveys the message, I know who I am now. This is risky because those who once held authority over you sense it eroding with each swipe. It's too late for them to realize that you were never ordinary. You are just starting to become uncommon. It becomes intriguing at this point. People don't only notice when your energy changes to self-assurance, they become alarmed. They search for your name, repeat previous communications, and look at your photos as if they were attempting to figure out a secret formula. You did alter the game, let's face it. Hidden fears are now triggered by your presence. Their uncertainties are exposed by your assurance. When they see you, they recall all the times they could have done a better job of treating you. They peruse your life updates as if they were reading their greatest error in real time. In actuality, your glow isn't retaliation. It's a reflection. You're demonstrating to them what they might have been if they had the guts to change. Let's discuss the fixation associated with this stage. They refer to it as attraction. It's deeper, though. It's obsession. The human brain is hardwired to desire things that seem unreachable, and that's exactly what you've turned into right now. You're not as reachable as you once were. You respond more slowly. You safeguard your energy. You no longer overshare. You became hard to find. Value is also created by scarcity. Suddenly, people from your past are recalling happy days. They miss having access to your warmth, not because they miss you warmth, not because they miss you. Since your recollection is the only version of you they can still touch, they romanticize it. They are no longer able to connect with the true you. Their messages are strange but sound nostalgic because of this. They're not getting back in touch. They are recalculating. They are attempting to ascertain how you grew to be who you are today without them. It's a combination of attraction and ego, the same individuals who had doubts about you. Examine all of your posts, captions, and movements to see if you've forgotten them, are happy, or are seeing someone new. The response is multi-layered. You remembered. The version of yourself that required them has just outgrown you. That's the kind of closure that makes people crazy. Because when someone loses, it's easier to find closure. When someone changes, it's intolerable. Let's be precise. It's not simply appearances that make you beautiful right now. It has to do with your energy hierarchy. You went from requiring approval to demanding it. The way you move, speak, and even occupy space all convey strength under the appearance of poise. You've discovered what psychologists refer to as aura perception. It occurs when a person's self-assurance changes how other people view their beauty. You look more attractive if you have a more positive self-image, and you've become an expert at it without even trying. Strangers gaze for longer because of this. That explains why your former partner now enjoys your stories once more. This explains why strangers are anxious around you. You evolved from a person to an experience, and now the energy you radiate says, "I don't need to be chosen. I am the choice." That statement alone changes the dynamics because the world performs for you when you stop trying to get attention. It's palpable. When you speak, people lean in. Unknowingly, when they are near you, they dress differently. The subconscious is involved. To feel more in tune with power, humans imitate it. Now you are that power. Ironically, the same people who made fun of you while you were rebuilding are now secretly engaging in your behaviors. They don't want your process, but they do want your confidence. They are drawn to your aura, but the transformation that created it was too much for them. Remembering how energy moves is important. Everyone who is still trapped in their habits gets revealed when your vibration increases, your radiance turned into a mirror for others. Additionally, mirrors magnify rather than lie. Some people suddenly get protective around you because of this. They are unable to articulate why they feel insignificant in your company, but it is not conceit. Alignment is the cause. They haven't developed into their frequency, but you have. It's gravity in psychology. They weren't drawn to you. They plummeted in the direction of your energy. They either change or get envious when they get to that field. The physical aspect is indisputable, therefore let's discuss it now. Energy maintenance is the goal of the food, the exercise, and the new clothes. You become sharper rather than merely finer. Your body language now conveys strength with ease. You're not fidgety. You don't pursue. You fail to provide an explanation. Your energy speaks for its fault. People get upset because every action conveys the message, "I'm comfortable in my skin," because it is daunting to be beautiful without insecurity. You're calm in addition to being attractive. People around you lose their composure because of the way you strike a balance between calmness and assurance. You can tell when they overcompensate, mispronounce things, and give compliments. The balance of power has changed. This is the point at which psychology becomes primitive. The secret for attraction is survival. Dominance, self-assurance, and good health are qualities that the subconscious mind values. All three are now represented by you. Therefore, their biology betrays them as they attempt to tell themselves that you're just going through a phase. Their pulse rate increases, their pupils dilate, and they stutter when speaking. That is the body's response to a high-value presence. They are unable to diffuse the stimuli that you had, and they become fixated because they can no longer classify you. Curiosity turns into imagination. Fixation develops from fantasy, and truth is always revealed by obsession. Observe something now. It wasn't validation that gave you your shine. It originated with boundaries. You began to live as though you already had value and stopped attempting to establish it. You gupushed yourself and stopped looking for closure. Your face was molded differently, your posture was strengthened, and your skin was lightened as a result of that change. Appearance is a direct result of energy. Your body relaxes, your eyes focus, and your voice becomes steady when your spirit feels safe. You begin to exude fullness. Filters are unable to replicate that type of beauty. Additionally, humans have an innate awareness of it. They know deep down why you've been looking so fantastic recently, even though they can't explain it. It's the spirit of someone who has at last given up pleading for love and is capable of producing it on their own. The past becomes desperate at this point. You'll notice ex-friends testing your limits with small talk, past flings liking photos from months ago, and sporadic direct messages. You'll sense the motivation behind it even if they'll pretend it's harmless. It's the curiosity-encased energy of regret. They're not contacting you because they're missing you. They are contacting you because they are unable to cope with no longer being a part of your story. Your name has turned into a benchmark, a trigger, and a reminder that they lost something precious. Furthermore, there is nothing you need to do about it. Your brightness speaks for itself. It's also lovely that you no longer hold them accountable. You simply watch. You know that perception changes when energy does. Because they were using a lesser frequency, they were previously unable to see you well. For someone who has been living in shade, your presence now seems like sunshine. It reveals what is true and what is not. Because of this, some people will publicly admire you, while others may silently feel jealous of you. The meaning of both responses is the same. They sense your strength. Keep this in mind. You didn't simply get more gorgeous, you become more competitive. And the world responds to unforgettable and different ways. Some will wish to keep you safe, some will want to own you. Some will also wish to show that you are incapable of moving them. Nevertheless, they all revolve around you. That's what a real glow-up looks like. It twists reality to suit you. Your energy is being debated in rooms you haven't even entered yet, as shown by every look, whisper, and rumor. That's effortless influence. Thus, keep this in mind as they frantically try to decipher your change. You never made an effort to win them over. You were taking back who you were. The glow they can't stop staring at is the result of all the progress you've made, the times you've refused drama, and the mornings you've chosen discipline over distraction. You became the norm, and those who are comfortable in their comfort zones are terrified by norms. This is your affirmation. It's official. Your aura is now worst way. You are in their dreams, desires, regrets, and conversations. They'll refer to it as curiosity, vanity, or obsession. It is irrelevant. All those words translate to the same truth. Now they see you, the one they disregarded, the one they undervalued, the one who laughed and returned with the appearance of heavenly vengeance in his energy. Allow them to speak. Allow them to ponder. Because attention isn't the focus of this phase. It has to do with authority. It doesn't scream. It hums like an expensive engine idling beneath composure. Even before you say anything, the atmosphere changes when you walk into a space. It's recognition, not haughtiness. The sense of contrast is ingrained in the human brain. Additionally, you now stand out in any space you walk into. You move in presence when everyone else moves in noise. People now stare for longer because of this. Why when you show up, conversations falter? They're not attempting to be impolite. Their subconscious is adjusting to your vibe. They are becoming acutely aware that they are in front of a person who has mastered the art of metamorphosis. People can't tell if they want to be you or be close to you, which is crazy. This is why this season is both sweet and perilous, because people have no choice but to be attracted to you. It tugs at them. Like oxygen, they yearn for closeness. They'll follow you, orbit you, text you, and tell themselves bulbs. It's actually envy, entangled in lust. It's the instinctive realization that you've become uncommon. They used to make comparisons between you. They are now unable to make a comparison, and it's palpable. When your name is spoken, there are implicit tensions, side glances, and double takes. Even those who say they've moved on are secretly researching you. They'll show their friends your photos, discuss how you've changed, and examine your postings like investigates for hits and for hands. In reality, they are attempting to pinpoint the exact time when they lost access, because your new appearance is spiritual rather than merely physical. Its appearance was influenced by its power. Your spirit no longer bends, which is why you radiate differently. Now, every detail about you is deliberate. The tone, the walk, and the hair. You behave as though you are aware of being seen, yet don't give a damn. Those who rely on approval are afraid of that kind of a surrogate. You used to seek comprehension. You now force folks to seek clarification. They want to know how you moved from being ignored to being irresistible. However, the reality is straightforward. You ceased to perform. You became the mirror that revealed their fears as soon as you stopped seeking acceptance. And now your name is whispered in every mirror they gaze into, every thought, every analogy, every hypothetical situation. You linger on their timelines without making any posts. You show up in discussions to which you were not invited, and that's what true influence looks like. Permission is not required. You became the model for what attraction looks like when it's combined with tranquility. You are no longer the one attempting to demonstrate your own sufficiency. You're the one reminding others what enough actually looks like. The past is in a panic because of this. The direct messages are not arbitrary. They react. They have been observing your development as if they were attendees at a performance for which they never purchased tickets. They are now frantically trying to get backstage. They'll come back with lines like, "You look amazing," or "I was just thinking about you," pretending it's casual, but you can feel it, the tension behind every word. They're not trying to get back in touch. They're trying to get back in touch. They're trying to get back in touch. They're trying to get back in, because you became evidence that they weren't the source of your brilliance. It took longer because of them. This is when psychology comes into play. Status reevaluation bias is a phenomenon that affects humans. The brain reassigns someone's value the instant they are sought after by others. That is the current situation. People are thinking about you in secret. Those who believe they could perform better now see that this was a delusion. In the narrative of their own lives, you are the primary figure they omitted. They are currently attempting to change the conclusion. They will attempt to deceive your emotions into reopening a door that has been spiritually welded shut by flirting with nostalgia or bringing up old recollections. However, you've changed since then. History doesn't tempt you. You have an addiction to advancement. You know what gives this even more potency? This brilliance wasn't pursued by you. It came when you made the decision to live in peace. You started feeding your soul instead of your fears. And it was evident. You started walking differently, not because you were performing, but because you were aligned. Subconsciously, people notice that. Like fragrance, confidence is detectable. It travels before your words do. People tilt their heads before you speak because of this. Like perfume in the breeze, your energy makes your presence known. And those who have mistreated you in the past are now reminded of the warmth they once possessed and the cold they caused by the ghost of your energy. Let's be honest though, the new you poses a threat. It's not because you harm others, but rather because you reveal them. You are more than just attractive. It's a diagnostic tool. It makes clear who is genuine and who is acting. Your sight reads truth. Therefore, the wrong people can no longer look you in the eye. They flinch under your confidence because they're still built on confusion. People either worship you or gossip about you because of this. Everyone you encounter has latent emotions that you awaken: attraction, jealousy, admiration, guilt. Everything they've repressed is reflected in you. Some will describe your glow as arrogant. Some will call it luck. Labels, however, do not alter the facts. This is what you labored for. You deserve every bit of your aura's brilliance. You showed up every early morning. You enforced every barrier. Every lonely night you prioritized development over rumors. It got worse. You became the physical manifestation of discipline disguised as desire. And that's what makes people lose composure around you. You're not just the reward. They're realizing you're the test. Observe this change now. It's subtle but enormous. You're no longer chasing love. Love is chasing you. People feel drawn to you for wrongs they can't. They sense stability, excitement, and danger in the same breath. That combination, it's intoxicating. You've become the fantasy people didn't know they had. You look like peace, but you feel like risk. You sound like comfort, but you move like power. That duality is what makes your presence unforgettable. It's why they replay your stories. It's why they overthink your silence. It's why they wonder if they ever truly knew you, or if you were all and the truth, you were always this person. You were disclosed by the glow-up, not created by it. It removed the layers of uncertainty that other people had placed on you. They don't see a new version now. It's the original, unaltered version. Their obsession stems from this, your authenticity in a world built on filters. Furthermore, the rarest form of beauty is honesty. Take a deeper look at those who are coming back. They now move in a new way. People who used to treat you like an option now talk as if they're walking on glass. They employ cautious timing, softer tones, and thoughtful compliments. Why? Because they are aware that your energy may be manipulated. Charm is no longer as effective as it once was. Your self-assurance has vanished. It's armor for the mind. Your borders have turned into an elegant fortification, making it impossible for them to seduce their way back into your world. People with attitudes are not rejected by you. You use standards to reject them. That's what hurts the most. When dominance is dressed elegantly, it looks like this. You're no longer competing, you're curating. You decide who gets proximity, who earns access, who gets to exist in your frequency. That's the kind of control that can't be faked. And everyone feels it. Individuals from your past will pretend that their reappearance is a coincidence. But be mindful. Consistency is not sought after by coincidences. They didn't remember you out of the blue. They saw that it was difficult to forget you. For what they now refer to as the one that got away, you became the standard. However, you were unable to escape. You were elevated. Let's also discuss how your social circle is being impacted by your transition. These days, former pals become aloof because your shine revealed their stagnation rather than because you have changed in a bad way. They feel small next to your progress. They'll start joking about how you've become different, but the joke is just envy in costume. You make people question their own effort, their own self-care, their own confidence, and instead of admitting it, they project it as criticism. Let them. Their awakening has been triggered by your presence. New admirers may sense it too. The alluring yet untouchable aura of someone. They are unsure on whether to observe from his. That's the vibe of a person who has perfected the art of attraction. You don't pursue. You don't make demands. You fail to provide an explanation. You just have complete control over your existence. Additionally, your composed confidence is chaos to their programming in a society where everyone is pleading to be seen. They are unable to comprehend someone who controls attention without pleading for it. This was dubbed reverse validation by psychologists. It's when someone's indifference increases their perceived value. That's your power now. You don't need to say much. Your aura does the talking. You're attractive not just because of appearance, but because of restraint. You are controlled fire in its purest form. The loudness of your radiance isn't what makes you beautiful. It's in the quietness of your certainty. They used to make fun of that stillness, but today it serves as your authority's language. Here's the few of them can truly approach you, yet they're all talking about you. Because access decreases as energy increases. You're not merely attractive on the outside, you become costly in terms of energy. Being around you costs self-awareness, concentration, and tranquility. People are anxious around you because of this. They can't hide behind masks anymore. You bring truth out of people unintentionally. Their body language betrays them. They adjust their clothes when you look their way. That's instinct. The subconscious submits to self-assurance. And deep down they know there's no going back to the version of you they once knew. That version doesn't exist anymore. The one who over-explained, overgave, overlawed. They're no longer there. Equilibrium is what currently exists. Giving is limited to what corresponds with your frequency. You exclusively engage in activities that you attract only what recognizes value. That's the evolution they can't process because people loved you when you were humble to the point of self-neglect. Now that you've turned that same humility inward, now that you love yourself, they call it ego. But it's not ego, it's elevation. There is a face that characterizes each age. You've turned into your world's face. They can't identify it, yet they can't stop responding to it, and it's vibration rather than conceit. Your outer environment is forced to reflect your inner reality because it has become so intimately connected. It's impossible for others to tell if you're glowing or if everything around you has simply darkened. Either way, the effect is the same. You're undeniable. So let them gossip. Let them speculate. Every rumor, every whisper, every they've changed is just proof that your energy has gone beyond explanation. You've become an emotional catalyst. The kind of person who walks in and shifts people's self-image without saying a word. And that's the rarest form of beauty, influence through essence. Because now you're not just the talk of the town, you're the pulse of the moment. Every tongue tries, but is never able to adequately explain you. Your movement, your appearance, and your aura, it all feels orchestrated by something bigger than fashion or chance. You become the standard for what it means to glow without needing validation. And that's what's breaking them. They can imitate the clothes, mimic the filters, steal the captions, but they'll never recreate the energy that built you. They'll never duplicate the self-respect that sculpted your jawline or the discipline that shaped your presence. That's why you stand out effortlessly, because your beauty is a result rather than a costume. You didn't try to get attention. You embodied it. You didn't buy confidence. You built it. It's in the way you pause before you speak, in the unbothered silence between your words, in the effortless authority behind your stillness. You no longer make an effort to be noticed. You simply are. Regular attraction becomes mythological at such magnitude of magnetism. Symmetry and style alone do not make you attractive. Your spirit learned to remain composed in the face of chaos and to rebuild after everything fell apart, which while you lie with your soul. Every time you broke and came back stronger, your energy refined itself. That's what they're reacting to now. The unexplainable combination of softness and power. It's intoxicating because it's balanced, and now it feels like static in the air. To the individuals from your past. They scroll, they watch, they remember. You've become their unfinished sentence. The chapter they can't close. They replay the moments when they had access to you. And it burns because back then they thought your presence was permanent. Now they can't even get your attention. and that distance is psychological warfare. It makes them question their judgment, their ego, their worth. You've become the proof that they fumbled something divine. They will make an effort to convince themselves that they are over you, but that illusion collapses the moment your name appears on their screen. Their heart skips not from love, but from recognition, cognition that you've ascended beyond their reach. And what's poetic is how gracefully you're handling it. You're not petty, you're not showing off, you're just existing in excellence. And that existence is enough to haunt them. Your beauty now has context. It goes beyond aesthetics. It's narrative. Every glance you give, every photo you post, every step you take carries the weight of the journey that built you. You're no longer the person they give to fake for click for quick trick your kid in. You're the reminder that access is earned, not inherited. That's why their messages sound different now. They come with hesitation. They come with subtext. They come from the same mouths that once went silent when you needed them most. But you don't bite the bait. You've learned that closure isn't a conversation. It's an option. You don't owe explanations to those who couldn't recognize gold when it was in their hands. This is what drives them crazy. You're glowing, but not for them. You're living, but not looking back. You've mastered the art of moving forward beautifully. And that elegance is psychological dominance. It tells the world that you're done proving your worth. You're too busy embodying it. You're not chasing old validation. You're attracting new opportunities, new eyes, new energy. And it's not just people. It's environments. Rooms you walk into feel lighter. When you walk in, the conversation shifts. When strangers see you, they experience a familiar feeling, as if they are seeing someone who has come to terms with their reflection. That's the kind of beauty that stops time. What most people don't realize is that attraction isn't just physical. It's a currency of energy. You've raised your value so high that even people you've never met can feel it. That's why you're suddenly the one everyone's curious about. It's not just your Lou, it is your legend. You've attracted attention. More significantly, though, you've won people over. You've shown what evolution looks like when it's styled in self-love. And that's what the world can't stop whispering about. You're trending not because of luck, but because of alignment. Your vibe has gone viral in ways algorithms can't track. Now, here's the part most won't say out loud. They're jealous because your glow makes them reflect on everything they haven't healed. Your peace looks like a luxury they can't afford. Your self-control looks like witchcraft to people who live off chaos. Your discipline exposes their distractions. That's why your rise feels personal to them. They want to compliment you, but envy makes their throat tighten. They want to be near you, but pride makes them stay distant. And deep down, they know it's not about looks, it's about power. You've learned that the most attractive thing in the world is knowing who you are. You are dangerous because of that. You're not fighting for attention. You're filtering it. Even the ones who once had your love now feel it in reverse. They feel your absence like heat, your silence like a spotlight. Every post you make, every move you reveal is a new reminder that you were the upgrade they couldn't download. You became too evolved for their old version of love, and now they orbit around your digital shadow trying to feel relevant again. But what they don't understand is that the glow they're obsessed with was born from their absence. You transmuted pain into polish. You took heartbreak and turned it into high frequency. You became living proof that rejection is just divine redirection dressed as loss. And look at you now. You don't beg to be remembered. You simply exist in a way that can't be forgotten. That's the real revenge. Radiance, not retaliation, children. Every compliment you get, every stare that lingers, every whispered, "Who is that?" It's the universe applauding you for choosing yourself. You're not the same person they left behind. You're the person they can't stop chasing in their thoughts. That's why the past keeps resurfacing. It's not love, it's longing. Longing for the version of themselves they were when they stood next to you, but that chapter is closed. You're not their reflection anymore. You're the mirror they'll never reach. So don't shrink, don't dim, don't feel bad about being magnetic. This vibe is something you deserve. For this serenity, you bled. You rebuilt yourself brick by brick while they underestimated your foundation. Now every step you take is a headline. Every breath you exhale is a revelation. Let them stare. Let them replay your name until it sounds like a prayer. You don't need to respond. You are to liberty. And as the world continues to talk, remember this final truth. Beauty fades when it's cosmetic, but it compounds when it's spiritual. You're not just attractive, you're ascended. You've crossed from being seen to being remembered. And the ones who once ignored you, they'll spend the rest of their days explaining to themselves how they lost someone they never deserved in the first place. They may be drawn to your appearance, but it's your vibe that's making them go crazy, dude. And that's what separates being well known from being legendary.